So we left off where I had just seen the figure, and I just want to add that no substances had been used. I was a very good 13-year-old. I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I didn't do D's. And I was in full cognitive capacity. I mean, I almost wish that I wasn't, because then I could perhaps explain away what I had seen. And after that, the figure passed through the doorway, and I just had this feeling of like evil. And the first instinct I had was to go and check on my sister, because I thought like it had done some harm to my sister. This is weird. I don't know what the thought process is, because like my brain was doing somersaults, because this is something that is not supposed to exist, because I never believed in ghosts. I mean, I used to watch like ghost hunters every now and again and laugh it off. And the first thing I did is that I went to my sister's room, which was next door, to check on her. And what happened was that she was sleeping fine. She was lying in her bed, she was sleeping fine, she was breathing. I was checking that she was breathing, and then I was like, okay, sigh of relief. Now, when I exited the doorway, I didn't see the thing. It almost like it disappeared, right, to go to my sister's room. But on the way out, I saw it coming out of a wall where like there was, I think previously there had been a door or something, and it appeared at the end of the hallway. And guys, I almost crapped my pants. Like, let's just be honest here, the amount of fear that I had was like unreal. I went to go and hide in my cousin's room, and when my cousin came back, far away from that hallway, and then when my cousin came back from the shower, she was like, Carri-Ann, what's wrong? And then I told her, and she was like, what? Now, lots of other things used to happen in that house. So I told my mom about this, and my mom said to me, Carri-Ann, ghosts do not exist. You have an overactive imagination. You know, it's crazy. Just try and concentrate on other things. And at that point, I would go to friends' houses on weekends, and I would spend the whole weekend at my friend's house. And I would rotate friends just to not be in that house. I was spending as little time in that house as I could possible, because I was traumatized after what I saw. And another thing is that I refused to leave my room between after 11 o'clock at night and before 5 o'clock in the morning. I refused to go into that hallway. So I just absolutely refused. The last bladder call was at just before 11, and then after that I just had to bear it out in my room with the door shut, Bible open, until the morning. That's how terrified I was. Now, my mom had told me that she doesn't believe in this, right? Now, I remember one day I came home from school and I was doing my homework in the dining room, and the door to the dining room was open and it led into the kitchen. And I think my mom thought I was somewhere else. And maybe I'll get her on here one day to for her to tell you her side of the story. But she's very TikTok shy, so we'll see how it goes. And what happened was that my dad had come home from work, and my mom was talking to him in the kitchen. I could hear what they were saying. I was busy doing my accounting homework or something. I can't remember what I was doing. But they didn't know that I could hear them. And then she said to me, she's like, Andre, that's my dad's name. She's like, Andre, I got to tell you something. And he's like, what? And she's like, well, I was having a bath, and I felt as though you were in the room. And when I got up, because you weren't responding to my name, so when I got up to see where you were, so she got out the bath, and she was in her master bedroom at the time, which is at the top of the stairs. And then she followed what she thought was my dad. And then she said she saw this figure, and this figure just disappeared at the bottom of the stairs. But she had also thought that it was like a human presence. And she told him that, and then he basically told her that she's imagining things. Same pay, the same like sort of gaslighting that I got, right? My dad was telling my mom, and that was crazy. And then I was like, whoa, now my mom is seeing things. And then we would have guests that would come over. So the one guest that came over was my auntie Lenore, and she was working in East London at the time, and she would drive over to Jeffreys Bay to spend like a week or so with us from time to time. And then she came out the one morning to breakfast and said that she had woken up in the middle of the night. It was the same room my cousin you were staying in, the guest room. That was a creepy room. That she had woken up in the middle of the night, and she had opened her eyes, and there was this old woman's face right there by her face. And she said she almost wet the bed because she got such a fright. And there were other cases. I mean, the one time we were all sitting at dinner, and it was there with my grandmother and my grandfather and my mom and my dad and my sister and me. We were sitting in dinner in the kitchen. We were kitchen island, and we were having dinner. And then like all of a sudden, like this ball of light appeared in the corner of the room, and it came flying through the room, and it hit my grandfather's cap. He was wearing he used to wear these berets. It hit his beret off, and then the beret fell on the ground, and we all saw it. It was so creepy, the stuff that was happening in that house. I'm still getting like kind of chills talking about it, because I had nightmares for years afterwards. Now, we called the local church, and they came, and then they blessed the house, and they put oil by the windows, but that didn't seem to do much because the activity continued. And also during this time, I was babysitting my sister, and my parents would go out for date night, and they'd leave me in charge of my sister. I mean, 13-year-old in charge of a 3-year-old in Jeffreys Bay. It's safe there. And the one night, my parents were out on date night, and I went into my sister's room, and she was playing with someone that I could not see. And the toys were levitating off the ground with an invisible force. And that's when I lost it. That's when I absolutely lost my marbles. And I took her out the room. I asked her if she's okay. I mean, I can ask her to come and do a TikTok on this as well. Asked her if she's okay. And I was like, you can't go back in that room. You're not safe. Because I still had that feeling of like dread. And this is about a year in, and the nightmares were just getting worse and worse. And now remember, I'm not there during weekends. I went to all my friends' houses during the weekends. I'm there during the week. And it was getting so bad. The nightmares were getting so bad. And I was the only one downstairs because my sister would go up into my parents' room. That eventually I decided like, hey, listen, I'm not sleeping down here by myself anymore. If my sister can go and sleep in a mattress in my parents' room, I'm going to take my 13-year-old ass up as well. And I'm also going to go sleep in the mattress because at least we're all together in the room together. So then we had a house with, I don't know, like 5 bedrooms. And we were all sleeping in the same room upstairs, my parents in their bed and my sister and I in the mattress, because I refused to sleep in down there alone. And then eventually my mom said to my father, she said, we have to move. And I'll just continue this in part 3 because I went back a few years later.